Welcome to another video. In this video, I'm going to be reading about a story out of Ohio. And this story took place on the 29th date of August 2022. It's about an Ohio man who shot his daughter's ex-boyfriend during a break-in. And I found this post on the New York Post. And I watched a video that shows this, that shows the story that I'm about to read. I watched this on a video on YouTube through Fire TV, Amazon Fire TV. So I'm going to go ahead and read this. It's a post from the New York Post, and it's titled, "Video Shows Ohio Man Shoot Daughter's Ex-Boyfriend During Break-In." Okay, here it is. A chilling Ring camera video shows the moment an Ohio homeowner shot and killed his daughter's ex-boyfriend as he tried to break into the family's home. The fatal shooting took place in Sidney, Ohio on July the 31st, resulting in the death of 22-year-old James Ray. Newly released doorbell video obtained by station WHIO TV7 shows Rael trying to open the door after being told by the family inside to go away. Defiant, Rael then appears to try to break down the wooden front door by slamming his shoulder against it. At one point, you can hear his ex-girlfriend's father, Mitch Duraku, warn Rael that he is armed. Means he has a gun. The door eventually forced open and 3 gunshots ringed out, sending Rael fleeing. The clip shows the 22-year-old makes his way down the porch steps and walks a short distance before collapsing in the middle of a sun-draped pathway. He was pronounced dead at the scene by first responders. An autopsy later found that Rael sustained 2 gunshot wounds to the shoulders and a fatal wound to the back, according to a joint press release from the county prosecutor and the local sheriff, as cited by Sidney Daily News. In a 911 audio recording from the incident, which has been obtained by WHIO TV7, a woman who described the intruder as her ex-boyfriend is heard telling her father that Rael is trying to break down the door. "Dad, he is trying to kill me," the woman could be heard saying. After Duraku shoots at Rael, his daughter is heard telling him, "Dad, there's nothing you could have done. You saved my life," according to the station. Earlier this month, a Shelby County grand jury voted 8-1 against indicting Duraku on charges relating to Rael's killing, citing the state's Stand Your Ground law, which says that a homeowner does not have a legal duty to retreat from their home before firing a gun. Rael's family has reacted with outrage to the news that Duraku will not be held accountable for the shooting and launched a Facebook page demanding justice. "Mitch shot him in the back and killed him," Rael's sister Jessica Colbert wrote in a recent post. "I hope your days are more miserable than they've ever been. You're a disgusting excuse for a human being along with your daughter. Man, I saw the video. In the video, as I watched it on YouTube through Fire TV, Amazon Fire TV, was hard to watch. It was hard to watch, and it was. I mean, the woman's ex-boyfriend tried to knock the door, try to knock down the door, and the woman or girl's father shot him 3 times. They said 2 times, and he staggered away and just collapsed in the sun-draped driveway in front of the house. I saw the video, and some random guy comes up and said that he's dead. He's not moving. He's been shot. He's not going anywhere. Then I saw the police arriving. And after that, I got on my smartphone, or I think I got on my Apple iPod Touch to find the video to read the comments. And I read some of the comments. The comments were just, typical American bullshit. Oh, serves him right for going there and harassing that poor girl and her family. He got what's coming to him. Yeah. I want to say this, the guy who tried to break into his ex-girlfriend's house, he was wrong. What he did was wrong. And, there was no explanation on why he did it. And I heard that he broke up with his ex. This guy broke up with his ex-girlfriend. And I guess he couldn't find another woman, and he lost it. He wanted to go back to her, and I guess, I don't know, she broke up with him because she didn't like what he was doing or whatever, and and he wanted to talk to her. He wanted to get her back, I guess, and she didn't want to have anything to do with him. She didn't want to talk to him. Didn't want to have anything to do with him. Just pushed him away. And here in the U.S., women here in America, some of them, not all of them, they can't handle rejection, and we men can handle rejection, but there's some men who can't handle rejection. But it's like this, in foreign countries, if a woman, I saw this on video from Winston Wu's YouTube channel, and it showed that a woman broke up with Winston Wu, and she went and explained to him why she broke up with him. And, he got it, and he just went and found another woman. After Winston Wu broke up with this woman, and the woman told him why she broke up with him, Winston Wu didn't lose it. He didn't snap. He didn't go and try to break down the door to her house and harass her. He didn't do any of that stuff. He just went to another woman because, he was in Russia, and there was a lot of beautiful, gorgeous women who want him. They're all over the place. Women were everywhere. They wanted to be with him. And, the woman that he broke up with in his relationship, they're friends. And it's because, in foreign countries, I say in Europe, Eastern Europe, I don't know, women are nothing like women here in the U.S. Even though they're sweet, feminine, down to earth, they're not manly, and they're easy to talk to, and they're approachable, and they don't have attitudes. They don't think that every man is a creep, a weirdo, and a pedophile, or whatnot. Yeah, they're kind of mature, but there's a far cry from how women here in the States. is the fact that, women here in the States are spoiled, they're entitled, they're narcissistic, they're picky, they're toxic, you know, they want 100% out of a man, and they hate the quiet guy, the shy guy, the nerd, and men with disabilities and whatnot. They hate those men, and that's why you got some of these men who are mass shooters, become mass shooters. You know, they don't have like, yeah. On top of that, the men who get drove into becoming a mass shooter out of anger, they don't have educational opportunities. They're held down. You know, they're pampered. They're sheltered by their parents. Their parents won't educate them on anything. They just let them fall through the cracks, and that's the root of their madness and their insanity, and that what drives them to become mass shooters. Also tied in with the toxic loop-sided upside down society here in America. The toxic loop-sided upside down society here in America. Let me say this again one more time. The toxic loop-sided upside down society here in America. There. Yeah. Yeah, men here in the US, some of them who can't deal with a breakup with their ex-girlfriend, and they want their girlfriend back, and they feel that if I can't have her, no one else will, and they end up killing her with a gun, and they don't take no for an answer, and they get completely shut down and ignored by that woman who broke up with them, and she won't explain to him why she broke up with him. No explanation. Just leave me alone. Just like that. Get away from me. And they just can't handle it, because they don't have nothing that can help them get over this in the United States. They don't have anything to help them, a program or educational opportunities or nothing. They're just kicked to the curb. And that's why some of these men here in America or the United States just lose it, go buy a gun, and enact their rampage and their frustration by just going and shooting and killing random people. Shoot and kill random people. Turn the gun on themselves, shoot and kill them, or worse, get shot in police. Yeah, you guys know the routine. So, there's no need for me to say that. So the guy that broke into the home to see his ex-girlfriend and want an explanation on why she broke up with him in the first place. So that's dubbed as a home invasion. Yeah, if you break into someone's home and they won't let you in, you want to break into their home anyway just to confront them and talk to them. That's home invasion right there. You can't do that. But you just got a lot of just a bunch of tortured, sick souls here in the US who are men who can't get over a breakup of an ex-girlfriend or an ex-wife. And just feel isolated and miss out of place because, women don't find them irresistible and attractive because they're quiet, they're shy, and they're nerds. It's a damn shame that people like Elliot Rodger, all these guys, these outcasts in society are just left out of the wind by society, and they just blow up in anger and just take out their frustration with a gun or try to break in to their ex-girlfriend's house or ex-spouse's house or whatnot. hoping to be with them again. But they're not going to be with them again. Because the woman has kicked them to the curb, don't want to have anything to do with them, no explanation, no nothing. That's it. We're through. We're done. And there's other things that drive these men to do things that they will regret. Do things that are just so horrible and just so bad. Going on mass shootings and committing suicide, and breaking into people's homes just to get at their girlfriend out of anger and see them. You got these women here in the U.S., like for instance, okay, a guy who went to school with this woman and she's married, she has children, she has a husband, and he tries to talk to this woman, and this woman puts him in a friend zone. He talks to her for one time, and him and her just talk back and forth. Like on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, whatnot. And, when he tries to talk to her again, she ignores him. She puts him in a friend zone and just ignores him. And just posts a lot of meaningless shit on any site, on any social media site. But if he makes a YouTube video and talks about, that woman and her husband and her daughter, the woman doesn't like it, goes to YouTube with an account and report him and get the video taken down. And the guy gets a strike on his channel. And then she goes and blocks him. Don't want to talk to him. I find that to be kind of weird. And it is. You know something? Yeah, I just, it just comes to a conclusion to me that, dealing with women here in the United States isn't worth it. Because, some of these women here in America, or the United States of America, aren't worth a dime. These women aren't shit. It doesn't matter if they're married or they're single. They're shit. Women and girls in the United States are worthless. They're garbage. And to me, getting angry and grabbing a gun and going on a mass shooting and breaking in their home and try to talk to them and they don't want to say anything to me, don't want to have anything to do with me, and they won't give me a reason why, it just isn't worth it. It isn't worth like throwing my life away to be dead and in the ground at a cemetery or being locked up in prison or going through court in a court case to get locked up in prison by being convicted. It isn't worth it. And it isn't. The problem, the problem with women here in the U.S. is this. The women and girls are too spoiled and given too much power, making them highly fake, arrogant, narcissistic, picky, toxic, unfriendly, and unapproachable with the worst attitude. They are the hardest females to connect with and the furthest thing from authenticity that you can get. Also, they are way too difficult and entitled. Their standards are way too high for most men, for they seek for the top 10 or 15% of men, since they are too independent and don't need men, they either want the best men or nothing at all. Yeah, that's what they are. Flirtation from American women is seen as creepy and taboo and not right. The ones who are religious and good aren't that great either. So, I'm not going to put them on a higher pedestal. Some women who are religious are good, some aren't, Quite frankly, searching for a good woman who's sweet, feminine, down to earth, approachable, has common sense, has a brain, who's intelligent. I mean, searching for them is like searching for a needle in a haystack. I mean, they're just diamonds in a sea of shit here in the United States. And yeah, this is depressing, but I had to talk about this. I think lonely single men, I think they don't need to possess child porn and go after children, little boys and little girls, for love and try to make out with them. Seeing mental health professions and a psychiatrist and take pills, green pills, from a psychiatrist that will quote unquote help them cope with their problems, but the real reason is they're not going to cope with their problems. They're going to make them gain weight and make them fat, make them sleepy, non-responsive, and drowsy. And going on mass shootings by taking their anger and frustration out on society and the women by shooting and killing innocent people. And going on a rampage at a parking lot of a Walmart, a strip mall, a mall, a movie theater. Yeah, and just inflict all that carnage and mayhem and chaos and murder, slaughtering and massacre. Getting shot and killed by police, or be arrested by the police and taken into custody and stand trial and be demonized by loved ones of these innocent victims by calling them a bitch, a bastard, a son of a bitch, a motherfucker, a worthless piece of trash. And saying stuff like, "Oh, I hope you rot in prison. I hope the prisoners take good care of you. I hope you go to hell and burn in hell, and we look down on you while you're in hell being burnt up, burning in hell." Why would a single, lonely man who isn't irresistible to women, who's sheltered and held down by his family if he has a disability, if he's not cool, he's not a bad boy, he's not a Chad, and he's an incel, why in the hell he has to go through all of this shit in the United States of America? If you ask me, I think you need to avoid all this stuff like the plague. Don't get involved in this stuff. Don't kill anybody. Don't get a gun to kill somebody. And, and get into possessing child porn and try to get love and from a little boy or a little girl and be in a relationship with them, and be called a pedophile. Why does he have to go through this shit? He doesn't. What he needs to do is He needs to get the hell out of the United States and go overseas and find a woman who's his age and can be with him. Like he can be like Winston Wu. And he can be like Winston Wu, who went to Russia and met a lot of hot girls there. He's friends with an ex-girlfriend. He's friends with a girl he's friends with other girls and women that he dated. These lonely, tortured, outcast men can go overseas and have to worry about being shot and killed by their ex-girlfriend's father, and be looked down upon and be judged and be called an incel and be tortured online by these stupid ass normies. I know some of these guys are screwed. I mean, they're in prison, they're dead. But I'm gonna say this: if there's some of them out there who are gonna go down that route, here's my message to them. Don't do what these guys that I've been speaking of in this video. Don't do what they do. Don't be like them. Get a job, work, save your money, make plans on moving to another country of your choosing, buy a plane ticket, and leave and go overseas and live in another country. Yeah, going through the immigration process to be a citizen of a country is hard and it's difficult and it's not easy. But hey, it's worth it. It's worth getting out. It's worth getting off the sinking ship, which is the United States of America. Go overseas and get you a woman who won't judge you for who you are, who like you for who you are, who judge you for who you are on the inside, not what you look like on the outside. She doesn't give a damn about you being quiet and shy and being a nerd and having a disability. She doesn't care about that shit. And she's not going to down you like these pieces of shit who are so brain dead and fucked up here in the United States of America. So that's all I gotta say in this video. And going back to that guy in Ohio who's been shot and killed because he tried to break into his ex-girlfriend's home. I don't see good and bad in that. The ex-boyfriend is wrong and the father of the ex-girlfriend is wrong. I don't see good and bad in that. I see both bad. And having loose, lax gun laws and loosening guns here in the United States after every mass shooting, just loosening them and turning the United States into the wild, wild west with these loose, lax gun laws are fucking stupid, and they don't solve the problem of gun violence and mass shootings. They don't solve shit. This approach is just making society here in the United States worse. It's making it even more dangerous. So, nothing's not going to be done on mass shootings, and the lonely guys need to get out of America. They need to get out of the United States. And these patriotic Americans who talk about freedom and protecting your loved ones, they don't know what the fuck that they're talking about. And these guys need to go fuck themselves. They need to take the U.S. Constitution, take every amendment in that U.S. Constitution and shove it up their asses. Because I'm tired of hearing that shit. Or better yet, if I was President Joe Biden, I'm going to take the U.S. Constitution, put that motherfucker in a barrel, pour gasoline all over it, light a match, and burn that motherfucker up. Because I'm tired of hearing these patriotic pieces of shit bring up the U.S. Constitution, the Founding Fathers, and the right to bear arms shall not be infringed. I don't care. So there. That's all I gotta say in this video. Cheers.